Coworker resigned after reaching 10 years and getting his final raise. Pretty much what the title says. I have had a coworker who crossed his 10-year mark with the company last month. As per company policy, the final bump in pay and PTO is at the 10-year mark. He is now making the most money he will ever make with this company. He could stay for another 10 years and will not get another raise after this one. This last week, he put in his resignation. When HR asked him why he's leaving, he told them that he has no incentive to stay with the company. He said that because he can't get any more raises from this employer. The only way for him to make more money is to go to a different company. He is using this most recent raise benefits bump as a bargaining chip when negotiating wages at the next company. He took an offer with a company who is giving him 15% raise from his now maxed out income, and apparently they are matching all of his other benefits. Moral of the story: companies who are removing pensions and putting caps on income benefits after a certain point are encouraging their most loyal employees to leave the company. Edit. For clarification, because people are asking. The company is a machine building OEM. This guy was our lead hydraulics systems engineer. He, along with the mechanical engineer, and myself, the electrical engineer, would work as a team to design, build and troubleshoot massive systems for our customers. They couldn't promote him or else they won't have their hydraulics engineer anymore. And they have a hard time replacing him because engineers are hard to come by as a whole. There's more engineering positions open in the USA than there are qualified people to fill them, let alone hydraulics engineers specifically. About the only way I see my employer replacing this guy in a timely manner is to poach someone from a different company, which will force them to pay more than this guy made. And yes, management has already asked the mechanical engineer and myself if we can get by without a hydraulics engineer. We both said no, but this led the two of us to have the conversation that we will both leave if that responsibility gets added to our already overstressed workload. If this happens, then this will be an OEM with 0 engineers employed. And I can't believe management doesn't see the red zone they walked themselves into. Loyalty will make you poor. Best advice I've gotten: left my company of 12 years to start at a new place with 20% raise doing the same thing I was. Wait, aren't we all family? I hope you don't work just for money. Employer's response when he quit. Good for him. Perfectly played. Job hop all you can, people. I had my 15th anniversary a couple years ago. Got my full 4 weeks of vacation along with a bonus and a company branded jacket. A few months earlier, I was given my first substandard review and no raise at all. A month after, I was blocked from applying for another position by HR. A month after that, I was putting in my resignation. I actually ordered my jacket the weekend before I resigned. Not a high-quality product as one might expect. The new job was high quality, however, and came with a 40% raise. Yes, that is exactly what they are encouraging. And they will continue doing it until the cows come home. When that guy leaves, they will hire some poor schlub at a much lower rate, thus saving on payroll. What about institutional knowledge loss, training expense, strain on remaining employees, and morale? You say? What about it? We just saved X amount on payroll and none of that other twaddle matters one bit. What did the company representatives say when he told him why he was leaving? While my company does cap its very generous vacation leave at the 10-year mark, 24 days of leave on top of all federal holidays and the week between Xmas and New Year's, wages and raises are not capped, and sick leave can be banked with no limit. I've been here over 20 years and have over 6 months of sick leave banked. Helpful if I ever have a very big, bad medical issue. Yeah, we don't typically have an issue with high turnover. Weird. Let alone hydraulics engineers specifically. Was a hydraulics engineer in the aerospace world. Your management is FCCCCCCKKKKKEDDDDDDD. If your management asked if you could get by without him, just start looking for a job now. They won't fill the position, and at some point it's going to fall to the ME. Not resigned, he just left the train at its final station. My husband has been with the same company for almost 25 years. If they tried to cap his salary at any point, he'd be out of there so fast. Taking all that experience and knowledge with him. Having a limit on raises just sounds wrong. Are they not aware that inflation is a thing? What he maxed out at might not be enough in a few years. Even if it's good now, it feels like the company is trying to run him and other decade-long employees off the property. They're probably betting on being able to pick up a replacement for much less money. This must be one of the most short-sighted and senseless rules I have ever heard of. What on earth were they thinking? Important to remember, the biggest pay raise you'll ever get is from switching companies. The cynic in me thinks that HR considers this a positive. Now they don't have to drum up a reason to fire the high-earning person to replace him with a new graduate they can drastically underpay. I've only asked for a raise once in my life, and it was pathetic. Just switched jobs for the rest of my career and never get less than a 15% bump. The raises must have been worth it, or he'd have been better off resigning after 2 years. And he'd have likely reached his current salary level at least 5 years earlier. They would rather have clock punchers than actual talent. I worked for 2 full decades at a bank, and no matter how bad it was, I stayed. Then they decided to raise the bank minimum wage, and if you were under that wage you got a 5% raise, or the new minimum. I got a 5.1% raise, and the new guy who had no banking experience was making the same as me. He struggled with everything from flushing the toilet to cashing a check. I gave them my notice not long after, and it was the best decision of my life. I no longer have to push banking products to people who don't need them to hit a goal. My manager told us even if a client had a credit card, push them to open another one so we hit our goals. I refused to do that and would get lectures all the time to push. 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 I wish I would have left long ago, since my loyalty meant nothing to them. Smart idea, honestly. When one company stops offering you any reason to stay, use it as a reason to switch to a new job that will give you better pay. Congratulations to your coworker. And you. Watch out, since your employer will hire someone, eventually, for less money. That person probably won't know what they're doing.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.